Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 13. Number 13 is my favorite number, so I'm excited to talk about my Say Yes to the Dress episode that I was reminded of again today that I was on. So, yes, it's true, I was on Say Yes to the Dress. So, I got married 7 years ago, and at the time, I was managing a pediatric practice and all the girls, I managed 33 women. I'm still alive. So anyway, these ladies knew everything about the show, Say Yes to the Dress. I knew nothing about it, never heard of it. And they told me, Kleinfeld's is this really exclusive, wonderful wedding boutique and for dresses. And I just wasn't really that into it. I was in my 30s when I got married. So I was over the whole like big wedding day. Like I was paying for it, my husband and I. So it wasn't like, we had this extravagant budget, nor did we want to spend a lot of money because we wanted to buy a house. Anyway, I digress. Let me tell you the story about Say Yes to the Dress. So my best friend in New York, Wendy Frost, was stabbed. Oh my God, yes. That's probably a crazy thing to hear, but that happened. She was stabbed in her driveway. She lives next to a country club, Oceanside, New York. Makes no sense at all. So if you know my friend Wendy Frost, she's got this really big personality, this New York, Long Island, big purse, big earrings, big everything. Go big, go home, nurse practitioner, beautiful life, family, adore them. I'm going to see them in 2 weeks. I always stay at their house. So I will share this video with them. So anyway, she was stabbed and she survived because she's a nurse practitioner. So she crawled to her neighbors on the ground and thank God they answered the door and she survived. And it was this unbelievable story. I was running a medical office and Dr. Greg Savell is an amazing doctor, but also really good in. And I ran into his office when I got the call and I said, you must call New York and find out if my friend is alive, like stat. And he did. He went into full acting, which I attribute all of that to his mom because she's an actress. So comes in handy. I'm telling you, take acting classes. I did. So what happened? So I fly to New York and she makes it, but it was horrible. Like you'll see in the episode if you watch it. I'll try to figure out how to attach it here. But the episode name was Family Ties. So when I get to New York, I find out about the show from all the girls at my office. I say, listen, we're going to go to Kleinfeld's. We're going to ham it up. I tell her this on the Long Island Railroad, by the way. We're going to ham it up. We're going to have a great time, but we're going to get on the show. Like, hello, you're a ham, I'm a ham, and you were stabbed. Pretty good chance of us getting on the show. So we went, before you know it, we were mic'd up, and we ended up spending the whole day at Kleinfeld's. We did get bumped by a wonderful lesbian couple. That story was a little more interesting than getting stabbed. But they filmed the show. We went out to eat. They didn't pay for it. And no, they did not pay for my dress. Like, no, you really pay for the dress. So if you're wondering if people get a dress for free, they don't. And everything that happened was real. So got mic'd up, did the show, met Randy, met the whole team. I didn't have the money. I didn't. I borrowed some from Wendy. I was supposed to pay my property taxes. And I'm like, property taxes or a wedding dress from Kleinfeld's. Because I'd already put a deposit down at David's Bridal for like, I don't know, a $500 dress that looked like a nightgown. Well, that's what Wendy told me. And it did probably because I didn't care. Like I wanted to buy a house and well, I actually owned a house already, but whatever. I just don't find spending money on a wedding like a great investment in your life. That's just me. So anyway, very small wedding. But I also told her there, I said, listen, they're going to come and they're going to film my wedding. They have to. Like, it's a great story. And now I live in moved and you're coming and you're a survivor of like the stabbing and it's going to be awesome. And sure enough, got the call and they flew to Florida and they filmed the wedding. But so the reason why I'm telling you this is because I did get a text message today. Did I see you on Say Yes to the Dress? Was that you? And I get that a lot. Wendy gets it way more than I do, and she wasn't even the one getting married. But anyway, all of her patients ask her like all the time, I think I saw you on the show. And then she was also on that Long Island Medium twice, I think. So anywho, is there anybody watching? Oh my God, there's a viewer. Hi, viewer. Are you my husband again? If it is, I'm happy it's you, but I'd rather be somebody else. I don't know how to communicate with you. Sorry. Maybe I'll figure that out one day. But anyway, getting back to the story about marketing. Yes, I'm going to talk about marketing with Say Yes to the Dress. So now I'm on this show, and I know this has national exposure. And I'm like, well, I don't really want to spend a lot. Well, I don't have a lot of money to spend on my wedding. So we're going to negotiate. That's what I do, yo. So I negotiated with the catering company. My pitch was, so do you want to be on a national television show? Well, I have like $500 to pay you for catering to my 65 guests. I have the biggest family in the world. Mom has 12 brothers, dad has 4 brothers, 3 sisters, and big. And I wanted to invite everybody, but I didn't have the money, like 60, I like wanted small, like, so I had my godparents come, and it was a tough decision. Mom had breast cancer, the whole thing. It was a tough, exciting, amazing, bittersweet time. So anyway, I negotiated everything. I barely paid for anything at the wedding because of Say Yes to the Dress. And I had my own videographer. It's called TLC Network. So anyway, I'm really excited to share that with you because, 2 things, right? If you have an opportunity to give exposure to companies that will benefit them, use that to your advantage. Seriously. If you can expose people to a huge audience, don't pay. Duh. And I still believe in that philosophy today. The other thing is, if you believe that something can happen, it can happen. I told her on the Long Island Railroad we were getting on the show. We got on the show. And then I told her they're going to come and film the wedding. And they came and filmed the wedding. And still 7 years later, well, 8 years, we filmed the first part of the show 8 years ago. And then they came for the wedding. So that was a year later almost. So yeah, 8 years later, I still get text messages. I know this is going to sound crazy, but did I see you on Say Yes to the Dress? And then, the guy, the doctor I told you about that called Wendy, to find out if she was alive in the hospital, he is in the show. He's doing my wedding vows because Cheryl, the nurse who I adored, who I wanted to do the wedding vows, she got pneumonia the night before my wedding. Oh, listen, hire a wedding planner. That's what I'm saying. So, but Dr. Greg, he did the wedding vows. And then Sharon Deegan, God bless her, she was a notary, and she stepped in at the end and said, I now pronounce you husband, wife, and stepmom or stepfamily, something like that, because we have a beautiful, now 13-year-old, but he was 5 in that video, and he was so super cute. So, all right, that's it. I'm trying my best to stay under 5 minutes, but it's almost impossible when I have a story like that. So I will try to figure out a way to send you this episode, or just look up, I think it's on my website or on my Facebook page. Say Yes to the Dress. Super fun. Great episode too. I never get sick of it. And I have my wedding on national television. I mean, how blessed am I? So that's it for tonight. Always grateful and so glad you could join in. Negotiate everything.